What is up, my viewers? Spang here, bringing you another replay sent in by 228, part of the Anvil clan, and it is going to be a tier 10 match in his bat chat on Erlenberg. Now, this is going to be a standard battle on Erlenberg. Sorry for the little slip of the tongue there. And we are going to see, I'm not quite sure. As per usual, I don't know what's going to happen in the match, and I misspoke. It is not standard battle. I thought it was, but it is instead an assault battle here with his team defending. Now, there are minimal number of tier 10s per team, and you have 228 here driving one of those alongside an IS-7, it looks like, and a Yogzilla with a tier 10 French BatChat arty. While the enemy team a bit harder hitting, two IS-7s. Are they platooned up? Doesn't look like they are, and there's only one platoon actually in this entire match, and it is of a lower tier. So we got a Vidra, V-I-D-R-A. I am not familiar with that clan, but then again, this is back in 9.6, so whether or not they still exist, that is a good question, and I could look it up, but it is not of significant enough importance. Now, the enemy team also has a Waffenträger E100, the Waffle Monster, and a T92, a very scary, hard-hitting artillery piece. Most people fear it just because they don't want to get one shot by it. But as for that, there's a lot of tier 9s for both teams. It looks like the enemy team has one or two more. Let's compare. Yes, they do. And then it's just a bunch of tier 8s with some ISUs, some Roombas, some hard-hitting. Ooh, Jagdtiger taking out that 5100, who just got absolutely wrecked. And as far as I can tell, nothing was spotted. So he was outspotted and then decimated by the enemy team. So there's an M103 finally getting lit up, but it is outside the draw distance. Nope, that is just the replay for a fact. The Waffenträger fully within range and a very easy target. He's tracked. He's not going anywhere. And will he get away? I think 228 might get the kill shot. Nope, it is the friendly Jagdtiger who does. This M103 beyond the other side of that hill. And we see more of, well, what's just been kind of commonplace in these replays at this point. And it's hard to say why exactly that is, but just those little glitches, I'm going to do my best to commentate around them in future replays. In fact, I think I'm going to stop drawing attention to them altogether as much as I can. This M103 pushing up quite a bit, the Jagdtiger way outside, well, outside enough of that draw distance box, which is eventually getting replaced with a circle here. There's been a few tests on that, so one day, but not today, and not in 9.10 from what I understand. It's certainly not implemented in 9.9. And the IS-7s and KV-4 on the other side of the map fighting a VK-4502B, a very well-armored vehicle, a very potent vehicle, should be able to hold the line pretty well if it is played well. And an IS-7 that got an ISU and a Roomba on the other flank for kind of support, and this STI pulling over the hill. 228 doing his best to aim for that underplay, and he will actually manage to land a hit. He is spotted. Got to be careful of that, especially when he's next to that Roomba. That is prime T92 bait right there. Artillery would love to lob a shell at that if they were ready. Looks like that tier 9 Waffenträger moving up the 4 line and getting a flank. A T34 looks like he might be AFK, but he is moving to engage. Not quite sure if he is just a base camper or if he is AFK or if he's a bot. It's hard to tell nowadays, but 228 looking like he said his team is more than going to hold the line on this side of the map, the 0 line, and he's going to reposition as he reloads, which is a great way to play the bat chat. In fact, it's a great way to play any fast-moving autoloader. Reposition as you reload. That IS-7 on the other side of the hill. The Waffenträger very much out in the open. Not quite sure how he missed that shot. That was quite a bit of RNG, aiming for center of mass to increase his chances of hitting rather than take the risky shot at the tracks, but he's looking like he might regret it. And the Waffenträger with the snapshot at that distance on the move. RNG did not favor 228 in this here engagement in terms of how that round just found its mark, and quite unfortunate for him, but very good for that Waffenträger. RNG was certainly on his side. If only he hadn't so carelessly pushed into the middle of an open field and exposed himself, maybe RNG could have blessed him a little bit more. But such is not the case in this match, and he will be going back to his garage. 228's team 3 to 7, 3 to 8, a vast hit point difference, over 7,000, over 8,000, no, just about 8,000. I think it's one hit point off, and now a little bit less. difference. So a massive deficit going on here. And 228 will get his first kill of the match after dealing over 3,700 damage, certainly pulling his weight in this STI kind of. 228 wants to kill him, but he's not exposing himself. Looks like 228 only has 5 rounds of standard APCR left, 10 rounds of heat, and heat would work just amazingly against that well-armored STI as long as he's careful to avoid spaced armor. And the enemy team only maintaining a 4-tank lead, and I say only as if it's not something tremendous, which in this case it is. The only 2 tier 10s left are him and that. I take that back. I misspoke yet again, but they have lost one of their tier 10s, that ISM, and they lost one of their heavy-hitting tier 9s, that VK. And the KV4 is very much alive. In fact, spotted on the bridge. That Yogzilla certainly gonna do his best to hold the line, but he's a bit exposed in this with that many tanks just coming down on top of him. Kind of a poor position. Now, if he can kill one of those vehicles on the bridge, it'll cut off one of the enemy's access routes to their base. But whether or not he can pull it off, we'll see. This STI pushing up aggressively, and it will prove to be fatal. Missing his only shot that he's probably going to get before he dies, trying to re-angle his armor. It's not going to be enough, though. Oh, or it might be. 228 not taking the proper shot. Probably should have shot him in the lower track, in the track wheel, or in the lower plate. And this Yogg Tiger wanting to avenge his STI ally. 228 recognizing he only has 1 shot left, and he wants to have 6 rounds in the clip. I'm sorry, 5 rounds in the clip. Therefore, loading the heat rounds. T92 taking a pot shot, managing to hit nothing but a dead tank husk. Very fortunate for 228, so RNG repaying him a little bit after that Waffentrager snapshot. And the enemy team, having pushed across the bridge, eliminating that Yogzilla, and the KV4 actually managing to get that kill. IS-7 and E-75 have crossed into friendly territory. KV-4 is a little bit isolated. Maybe 228 can get the kill, but he is currently focusing on the IS-3, who is blatantly out in the open. Will lose some hit points for it, but the question is, will he die for it? 228 not spotted yet because that IS-3 is so far out, and he has such good camo training, I am assuming, on his BatChat. Waiting for the spot again. There it is. Will he get the kill, or will someone else take it? Nope, there's a bounce, and he's going to fire it in inside. Fortunately, the tracks did not hit that heat shell, and the ISU 152 getting a high roll for 860, so 228 very much hurting at this point in time, reloading his last 5 heat rounds, and then all he'll have is 1 APCR. The question is, can he get away before he gets shot up? ISU, certainly a threat. That IS-7, however, probably more so, but still clipping at this point in time. ISU is way along the riverside, so chances of the ISU blitzing him not too high. This KV-4 certainly closer and more capable of doing so. And I've got to wonder what that Yogg Tiger is doing at this point in time, wondering why he hasn't pushed up. But the KV-4 full health, unfortunately, and he's going to take some shots on him. KV-4 repositioning, recognizing the threat. Does not look like he has the upgraded gun, and a round right through his mantlet. Heat just proving its high penetrating factor. And there we go. Kill number 4 for 228 and over 6,700 damage done. Looks like the BatChat will kill that IS-7, so his team has a shot. However, 228 is not going to be the one to save the day here. He's only got 1 round left in his entire tank, and that is APCR. He's looking to get a shot on someone with it, and at the very least just intimidate this ISU into thinking he's a larger threat than he is. But the truth is, he really has nothing. All that is on base right now capturing is that E-75, friendly E-75 going in for the kill, although he is very much hurt and not in any position to do so. The ISU taking advantage of 228's loading and not paying attention. Had 228 been focusing a little bit more, maybe dancing around him, get on his side, keep him preoccupied, maybe get the friendly artillery to kill him. And by that, I mean, ooh, 228 doesn't even let us see the outcome of that match. So we're going to go to post-game stats and see how everyone else racked and stacked. But like I was saying, I just want to finish my thought. Had 228 taken advantage and tried to get on the side of that ISU, he possibly could have got the enemy T92 to get a friendly kill and take out his ISU, or at the very least hurt him significantly. Maybe the Yogg Tiger comes around the corner, takes a pot shot, the round goes wild and hits the ISU as well. I mean, there's a few things he could have done to help his team try and win at that point, but he just got too preoccupied trying to figure out what the E75 was doing. But that's just my 2 cents. Overall, very well played, almost certainly high caliber. In fact, now that I look at the high caliber mark at the top of the screen, he definitely got it. And we'll see what else he got in that post-game rack and stack. All right, and here we go. Now, I did notice I said something that was wrong earlier in this commentary. I said it's 9.6. That is wrong. It is 9.5. I'm getting ahead of myself. I am almost into the 9.6 replays. 9.5 is nearly done, and then hopefully time will allow me to upload 2 a day for the 9.6, but at the moment I'm publishing them at 5 o'clock Eastern, and then it'll be 7 and 5 every day Eastern time, but 7 in the morning, 5 in the afternoon. But getting on back with this match, high caliber, of course, a mark of excellence, his first actually, and then he did, I want to make sure that it is his first, because it says 1 mark of excellence, not first, so, but it does look like that, and he got the line of Sinai badge, which is just kill a bunch of Russian stuff. That's pretty much what it comes down to. And overall, a very impressive win 8. This is on Quickie Baby, so it's a little bit different from what I'm used to looking at when it comes to, I usually go to Watt replays, but Quickie Baby is just as viable. A lot of assisted damage and a lot of actual damage dealt, but we'll get into that a little bit more when we do rack and stack. That ISU for the enemy team being very effective, and it is a very effective platform in general, just because of how impressive its gun is. The T92 on the enemy team doing quite a bit as well. And overall, the enemy team really just doing a good job of spreading some damage out. IS-7's doing over 2,000, just under 3, closer to 3,000 actually. That IS-3, very impressive for an IS-3. KV-4 could have done a bit better. E-75, he did okay. And then, of course, it's going to go downhill from there. That Waffentrager, we saw him just get just way too aggressive. And was it a defeat? It was, in fact, a defeat. So it looks like the enemy team did cap it out. His E75 was not able to reset that enemy E75 in time. And the artillery did die. I missed that, but I'm not quite sure if that happened during the commentary and it was something I missed, or if that happened after the fact. So kind of hard to say. But, I mean, not hard for you guys. If I missed it, you can see it in the video clearly. The enemy team certainly living up. That friendly Yogg Tiger doing well for himself as well. The artillery doing a good job. And then just some poor performances. Ooh, that's a rough one. That VK, we saw that 5100 get lit up early on. I think the 50 ton was shortly behind him. But going into the specific stats, I said shots and stats at the same time. There I go. Again, being a complete noob at this, even though I've been doing it for way too long. 29 shots fired, 24 direct hits, 20 penetrations, and that's kind of just due to the nature of he bounced some heat shells, and it was just shots at a distance as well. That did not, help out in that. Losing credits because it was a loss, and he fired a lot of heat rounds because they were the only things he had left. And I mean, he paid the full repair bill of his tanks, so that's gonna happen. Actually had quite a bit from a distance of more than 300 meters, which explains some of the misses there. But most of his damage done from that distance. Total damage received, his hit points, potential damage a little bit more than that. Excuse me. Had a little burpee moment. Enemies detected 1, damaged and destroyed 6 and 4, and then we have a little bit detecting and tracking damage. Detected and tracking. Yeah, no, detecting was right. Damage upon detecting, damage upon detracking. There we go. I did read that right for a second. It just didn't sound right in my mind. Apologies for that little hiccup. But he actually would have made profit had he been running premium. So that is something to keep in mind. A good amount of experience earned even on a loss. So very well played, and sometimes you just can't carry enough, which is actually what he labeled this. I don't know if I'm going to call this video that. I'm going to figure out whatever I'm going to call this video. Not just, I mean, he certainly was pretty much out of ammo for all intents and purposes. All he had was left was that 1 round, so not really much else he could have done. He fired all but 1 of his shots, and it really would not have made the difference unless he used that 1 shot to get to base, reset that E75, and his team was able to carry, take the win from there, carry it the rest of the way. But, I mean, that's asking a lot. Still, that's about going to do it for this video. If you got a replay you think I should do a commentary on, the description below. It definitely has instructions for that. Also in the description below are other ways to follow my channel and support my channel. And any what's it, this has been Spang, and clearly I am just oh so professional. Until next time, my viewers.
MLG Batignolles.